is a celebration for the upcoming World Cup, which starts later today. It is the 2026 World Cup hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So I've got a few different things here I wanted to show that I think is pretty fun. And there's going to be a little bit of jersey action. It's not a World Cup jersey, but it is a soccer/football jersey. So I wanted to start with, I don't know if you guys have seen McDonald's promotions. At least in Canada, they're doing World Cup right now, and they've got these rival cups, and in the kids' meals, Happy Meals, they've got Squishmallows with random jerseys. So I've got a couple of the Squishmallows that we can take a look at. Now, I am a huge soccer fan/football. I grew up playing the sport through high school. Was going to play it in college and then decided not to. And I played mainly center back, left mid. I was left-footed. I still am left-footed, but yeah. My favorite team is Chelsea in the Premier League. My favorite international team, other than the United States/Canada, where I live, is Germany. And I don't think they're going to win. I don't know who's going to win this World Cup. Everyone's picking Spain. But I know FIFA, or what was the FIFA video game, which correctly predicts every World Cup champion, has picked Spain. So I'm picking Argentina to repeat. Anyway, let's look at these Squishmallows. So we can see, here's the box it comes in. I've already opened it. It's got all 20 on the back, 22, I don't remember. This one is Naya, and she has Brazil's jersey, or what I would presume to be Brazil's jersey. They're usually yellow and green. Now, this is probably the worst Brazilian World Cup team that I've ever seen. They're usually a top 3 choice, but this year they're not. Neymar is getting up there in age. So we can see this one, Naya. So this is actually the second one we got. It's very soft. Big Squishmallow fans here. They're very good to use as pillows. Or if you just want to cuddle something, you get a massive one. It's ridiculous. So that's Naya. The next one, which is the first one we got, which was actually funny, was Clutch. Number 10 here. The Eagle. So I presume this, he's a midfielder, and he's going to wave at the crowd after every goal, is for the United States. An eagle, like free bird, come on. So they are, I think, ranked 16th in the world. I presume they'll get out of the group stage, but I don't know. The different scenarios have them playing some tough teams depending on where they finish in the group. So, yeah, Clutch was the first one, which is funny because I know my girlfriend, she wasn't, as she is Canadian, she wasn't too happy to get. So I will be rooting for the US of A. I root for them every World Cup, and they're the hosts, one of the hosts, so it's like, you have to cheer for them. I'm from the US. So that's Clutch, the American Eagle. So I wanted to look at the back of the box here. No one's really sure what all the animals belong to, so I see an England jersey for the shark. His name is Gordon Ramsay, I don't know. He's Scottish. Like the jerseys, I see a Portugal jersey, I think. Italy was not even in the World Cup. Yeah, so it's just weird. I don't know. I mean, they probably had to make these before the World Cup kits were revealed, so yeah, these are the different animals you can get. We've gotten a couple Nayas, but yeah, it's fun. We usually let the cats play with the little squishmallows because they think they're toys. So we also got a Rivals Cup with one of the, I think there's a World Cup meal from McDonald's. So I don't know what this entails, if there are players on it. So this is a special World Cup because it's probably the last World Cup that Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, probably Neymar, not Neymar, the Marvel hero, Neymar, and I don't know, like, the old guard is moving on. There's some other older players, but yeah, they're all up there. They're not playing in the Premier Leagues anymore, Bundesliga or La Liga. Like, Messi's in the MLS. I think Neymar, he's in Saudi Arabia with Cristiano. So, like, how will they do against this competition again? It's not like friendlies anymore. You're actually playing to win. And this is a 48-team World Cup, unlike the past ones, where it's been 36. So more teams. Better chance to get through the group stages. You can finish third in the group and move on. So, should be an exciting World Cup. And it's nice to have the games at reasonable times. Although where I am, they start a little bit later. So, but still, no games at like 4 in the morning. So let's open this up. Alright, white cup. Who do we have? Oh, we've got... That's fine. David Beckham with Ronald Creepin McDonald back there. Bennett like Beckham. He's been retired for a while. This is a cool one. So, I mean, legendary captain for England. His signature free kicks that curve like crazy. And it spawned a movie that wasn't directly about him, but yeah, that's cool. I didn't know he was part of it, considering he hasn't played in 20 years, but he is the owner of, or one of the owners of the Miami Football Club, which is what Messi plays for, so yeah, I was actually going to pick England until they kept complaining about practicing in the Florida heat every day, and I'm like, I've been to England, I've been to London, in the summer, and I've experienced the London heat, and it's nothing. Like, I get it. People in England can't stand it, and they talk about how awful it is, but like, you haven't experienced Florida heat, so with them constantly complaining about it, I can't pick them. They're gonna get overheated during games, so I'll eat some crow if they end up winning the World Cup. But it, like, devastating heat in England is like 80 degrees, like, which is nothing. Even in the Midwest where I'm from, we can get over 100. So, yeah, whatever that is in Celsius, a lot. But David Beckham Cup, cool dude. You can watch him on Netflix. Him and Posh Spice. So there we go. If they have retired players on these cups, like, I wonder who else is on it. Thierry Henry, probably. Ronaldinho, maybe. I don't know. Messi definitely has to have a cup, right? So that is the McDonald's Soccer Rivals Cup. Do some... I don't really have fingernails. But, Earlier in the video, I talked about my favorite team being Chelsea. So, many moons ago, Chelsea came to Chicagoland to play the MLS All-Stars, and I was fortunate enough to go to that game for my birthday. And my favorite player of all time was on Chelsea at the time, so I got to see him play in person. And I was then even more fortunate enough that I got a jersey for that player, and they were not, if you've ever been to a big soccer game, football game, you know how crazy fans are and how they just scoop up all the merchandise. So I got probably the last jersey there, but this is, and Samsung was the primary sponsor at the time, the Chelsea jersey, Adidas, Chelsea Football Club. So I got this also for my birthday, and I believe Chelsea ends up winning the game like 3-1, but it was at that, like, this was back when the U.S. sucked internationally, and the MLS, most of the U.S. players were still playing for the MLS, so it was pretty much like an international game. So yeah, Samsung Mobile, I don't think they're the primary sponsors anymore. They might be. Chelsea's been terrible. Not terrible, but they have been in a rut the last decade or so. Roman Abramovich bought the team, and they got sanctioned because he spent so much money, and then he got the team seized from him because he's Russian, and Russia invaded Ukraine, and then it was sold to an American billionaire, and I think they're still sanctioned because of shady practices. So, like, they haven't won the Premier League in a while. They haven't been relegated, thank goodness, but, like, they're always fighting to stay in the Champions League, which is the top 3 or 4 teams in the Premier League each year. So I haven't been keeping up with the Premier League as much because it's hard to root for a team that struggles so much, and that when players leave, they all of a sudden become amazing again, like Kai Havertz and other players. Like, he's just an example, but he's tearing it up for Germany, and I forgot what team he's on now. But I hope they get their act together because Chelsea's awesome. So now, I haven't revealed my player yet, but this is a player jersey. They don't have the number on front. So, without further ado, we've got the German captain at the time, Michael Ballack, former World Cup commentator, number 13, which is the number I grew up wearing. It's my favorite number. Happy coincidence. So he, a famous German player, and he signed with Chelsea for a few years, and I got to see him play, which was awesome. When they did that game versus the All-Stars, and he did pretty well with Chelsea, but around that time, he was later in his career, and he started getting injured, so he pretty much became injury prone. And I believe he retired right before Germany won the World Cup, or he missed that World Cup with injury, one of the two, in 2014. But yeah, he's a midfielder, captain of Germany for a while, and big hulking presence in the middle. I loved it because he was number 13, which is my favorite number. And like I said, I went to pretty much every gift stand, shop, whatever, team shop in Toyota Stadium in Bridgeview, Illinois. enormous, and there was probably 20 of them all around the stadium. So the last one I found, or I looked at, I had this jersey, so I was stoked. It wasn't even that expensive, which was crazy. Because jerseys nowadays are, well, A, they're made terribly because it's a monopoly by fanatics. And they're like, this would probably be $200, but I think it was like $60. But yeah, Michael Ballack. So I remember he going into a I think it was the 2014 World Cup, he got injured in a tune-up game and broke his ankle by a teammate who decided to play for Ivory Coast, I believe, instead of Germany. Like his guy was brothers with a German player, and he had played for Germany with his brother, but decided to leave and go play for the Ivory Coast, and he broke Michael Ballack's ankle in a tune-up game, which made Michael miss the World Cup. So I remember that was pretty sad. And then he was the commentator in the 2018 World Cup, and I don't know what he's doing now. I know his son died, which was sad, in like an ATV accident. But yeah, he had a good career. I mean, he was, like I say, he was a midfielder. He had some goals, but you know, when he went to Chelsea, that's sort of where his career started going on a downturn. He played in the Bundesliga before; it was phenomenal. I think it was Bayern or Leverkusen, I want to say. But yeah, Michael Ballack. This jersey it's not like my Blackhawks jersey, the one I did before, my Dave's jersey, where the number is stitched in. This one's just a heat pressed, so like it doesn't really make very good sound. But yeah, the World Cup starts today, and I think Mexico and South Africa play the first game, and then there's one other game, and then Canada plays tomorrow, USA plays tomorrow, and then the games really start coming on Sunday. I think there's 5 or 6 games, but yeah, the tournament lasts about 3.5, 4 weeks. The final is in East Rutherford, New Jersey, a stadium which I've been to see WrestleMania. And this whole thing has been a debacle. There's so many unsold tickets. Hotels are empty. Everything's overpriced. Like, it's scalpers galore have gotten tickets. It's ridiculous. I feel bad for the fans. You know, you lose so much money hosting the games to begin with, and you can't have any major sporting events a month before or a month after the games or the tournament. So like, that's why Chicago declined to host any games, and let's see, some other Canadian cities refused to host games because of that reason. So, should still be fun. Soccer, I know a lot of people think it's boring, but when you have the best of the best playing, like the opening games will probably not be very good because you can tie. But like once you get out of the group stages and you can't tie anymore, that's when, you know, you go to penalty kicks, overtime, like extra time. That's when the real games start and everyone has to try their best. So once we get past this first few weeks, that's when the craziness happens. But yeah, Michael Ballack, Germany, Chelsea, let's go. I will be rooting for Germany. I'm picking Argentina back to back because they're used to the heat. And I think they're the best team from North America, so I hope Canada wins their first ever World Cup game. They're favored against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Then they play Qatar, who they should demolish. But, yeah. Just don't lose. None of the three teams, I hope none of them lose the first games, because that would be embarrassing. The hosts are always supposed to win their first game. I think Qatar was the first team to ever lose as the host nation in their first game, because you're usually given a layup. The U.S. plays Paraguay, Canada, Bosnia, Herzegovina. I forgot who Mexico plays South Africa. So, like, they all should win. They're all favored to win, but none of them have the group of death. So, I expect all three to advance out of their group, and yeah. So, with that, I'll introduce Clutch back here. We've got Naya, Brazilian, I don't know, cheetah, leopard thing, pink leopard. And then the Kiddo David Beckham Rivals Cup. Try and center that up a little bit here. Yeah, go World Cup. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. I got some more videos. If you're a Harry Potter fan, look out in the near future. Got some stuff for that. Like I said, I went to England, so it has been a while since I've been there, but it was awesome. I'm gonna make a video all about that and stuff I got. So let me know who you're rooting for. If you're rooting for or watching the World Cup, who you got that's gonna win, who you think is gonna win, who should win. Should the event be every 2 years? Should it be every 4? I think FIFA's trying to make it every 2 or 3 years, which would be crazy. We don't need, I like it, every 4 years is good. We don't need it ever less than that. Keep it like the Olympics to keep the prestige. Alright guys, thank you for watching.